Hello everyone, welcome to StraightA. Dawson here, back in another video here today, and we are recapping NFL Week 8. Man, we are already at Week 8. We are almost halfway through the season, or at least the regular season. It's kind of insane. Things are going by so quickly, but it's always good joy. Love me some football. Always good to kind of recap it all. So before we get started, please like down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment any suggestions for future videos below. Without further ado, we're going to go into our first game of the Minnesota Vikings Los Angeles Rams on Thursday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings finally taking their second loss outside the division this time against the Los Angeles Rams, who are now finally getting a little bit healthier. Some of their O-lines coming back, some of their defensive players are stepping up, their offensive weapons are back. The Los Angeles Rams are looking good again, and they're only 3-4. I mean, they didn't take too many losses in the very beginning. I mean, 4 is not that, not that great to take, but luckily it looks like they already had their bye week, right? Yeah, I guess they already had their bye week pretty early on. So good for the Rams. Good to see Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp wasn't the most healthy, but either way, Puka really carried the team for yardage here. Minnesota Vikings still didn't look too bad, but definitely shows that their offense is definitely the weak point of this team. And as a weak point, I mean, it just needs to be more consistently above average. So it kind of goes back to the whole thing of, are Minnesota Vikings really that good? I mean, they are, but are they frauds? I still don't think so. Sam Darnold still looks pretty all right. Aaron Jones still does all right. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, all of them still great. Minnesota Vikings defense, while it doesn't show a whole lot of stats here, they did make some big plays. Unfortunately, they really could not cover Puka Nacua, who really was the dagger in there. Cooper Kupp did catch a touchdown, which also helped out a lot. But Puka Nacua was the main yardage killer for the Los Angeles Rams there. Matthew Stafford looked great. I mean, with his weapons there, he was amazing. Kyron Williams, explosive as all hell. Puka Nacua, like I said, killed some yardage there. Cooper Kupp did find the end zone. Demarcus Robinson also found the end zone twice on both of his receptions, so pretty cool. Kyron Williams also found the end zone. Otherwise, pretty across the board, nothing too much. The defense for the Rams did step up quite a bit to beat out the Vikings today. Very good. Minnesota Vikings, I think they're going to still be a wild card team, like a strong wild card team, like a 5 seed, but I think the Lions are going to start locking up that division. Rams, they're going to be fighting for that 6 seed, 6 or 7 seed, I think, but it'll be a nice little interesting dynamic over in the NFC. Packers competing against the Jags, or I should say the Jags competing against the Packers here. Jordan Love suffered an injury decently early on. Malik Willis came in, and honestly, I thought that Malik Willis would be a bad quarterback. No, he actually did all right. I actually respect Malik Willis a whole lot. He's a suitable, good quarterback for this team, and they are rocking and rolling it. Jordan Love didn't play too well. Malik Willis did his job. Really, they killed him in the ground game. Josh Jacobs ultimately is going to be one of the big things that teams have to get over if they want to beat Packers, is going to beat Josh Jacobs. I mean, honestly, when he's running for 5 yards, like freaking rush, it's not going to be beatable for the other team. Granted, Jaguars did play some pretty good offense, but when you're competing against Tucker Kraft and Romeo Doubs, who are putting up 70-plus yards and a touchdown, pretty hard to do. Packers defense, not amazing, but not too bad either. I've definitely seen better days from them. Jags, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, unfortunately now all of his weapons are hurt. I mean, Christian Kirk's gone for the season. Brian Thomas Jr. is probably out for at least 2 weeks probably. Gabe Davis, probably same case, maybe a week or two. He's really got nobody else. And the ground game, even with Travis Etienne coming back, I don't have a lot of confidence in it. So Jags are going to be plummeting their stock value here pretty soon. Trevor, he had one of his better days. I mean, I think Trevor's still a great quarterback, or at least a good quarterback. Definitely worth starting, but he's in that awkward stage of he's like the 20th best quarterback, if that, in the league. And around that range, you can't really just say, I want to replace our quarterback, because having the 20th best quarterback is better than having the 32nd best quarterback, as I was going to say that some of the rookie quarterbacks are kind of experiencing, but really all of them are doing kind of well. Either way, the Jags, overall, on offense, they're good. They had a good shining day today, but it's not going to be sustainable for them from the looks of it. Jags defense, not very good, pretty non-existent across the board. Not really many bright spots for the Jags there. Packers, again, honestly, man, I forget the Packers are there too, so man, will they actually get a wild card seed? I mean, the only team I don't see getting a wild card seed from the NFC North is the Bears. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. NFC is a tough conference, man. Cardinals Lions, very good game. Tua's back in form, and he looks pretty good. I'm glad he looked comfortable. He's learning to slide. There's a good joke I've seen commonly, but Cardinals had a little bit more juice in them today. Cardinals had a good offense. The defense stepped up at least a decent bit, and the Dolphins, you could still tell, we're still getting rolling back with Tua under center, but man, Dolphins team is a team I'm so excited to see for the rest of the season. Kyler Murray, like I said, great game. James Conner did his job, I guess. Trey Benson really isn't getting involved, surprisingly. I don't know why. Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. both extremely good. If they can just keep those two up, and Michael Wilson's honestly a great compliment as third, and then I think that the Cardinals have such a good offense. They can just shape up their offensive line in some of the more boring positions on defense. They can have a damn good team here next year or two. Defensively, pretty much non-existent from both sides, pretty much. I mean, Dolphins had an alright day, but oh well. Tua, again, pretty decent day coming back. Devon Achane, now that he's now back with Tua, is so much more relevant in the passing game. His rushing's still great, but his Raheem Mostert's used on the goal line still. Tyreek Hill, while he didn't have an amazing day, he's getting back in form with things. Jalen Waddle's getting involved again. It's really, really good to see. Dolphins, like I said, didn't have a great day here, but honestly, they did look pretty good against Cardinals defense at times. It really was a last-minute field goal that won the Cardinals the game, but I think it's too late for both these teams to really make a big playoff push in terms of momentum and stuff like that. They have too hard of games coming forward, so they'll be outside-looking-in type teams. Talking about outside-looking-in type teams, they're really outside-looking-in. Jets versus New England, and Jets are just abysmal. I don't even know what to say. I mean, they're getting some of the offensive pieces clicking, but once they get that clicking, I mean, their defense either coughs at the ball or their offensive linemen. I don't know. It's crazy the Jets team right now could win out and be 11-6. That's the best they can do halfway through the season is 11-6, which sounds like a great record. That requires them winning out. Even if you say they're a pretty damn good team, they're probably still going to drop 2 or 3 games in between the rest of the season. So that's like what? 11-6 goes to 10-7, goes to 9-8, possibly 8-9. It's just insane to me that Jets team, the way it is right now, is probably not making the playoffs. Whatever. They're outside looking in. New England's probably going to be... Honestly, Jets may be like the 11th seed in the AFC. The 11th seed on the AFC side. Let me clarify that. New England Patriots, they're fine. I mean, it's a divisional game, so New England competed well. They know the team, so I'm not going to be sitting here saying it's surprised. It just sucks to see. I mean, Aaron Rodgers putting up decent numbers. Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams are a good complement to each other. Breece Hall's running okay again. But, like, offensive lineman's not defending them. The defense fucking fumbled the bag here. How do you let Jacoby Brissett, like, run up all over you? And I say Jacoby Brissett because mostly Drake May was out of the game. I didn't realize he even played that much. Which 6 throws is not a whole lot. He got a concussion. I think he'll be back, like, next week, maybe a week after, but it's going to be tough. Jacoby Brissett, again, he threw 132 yards. You know where they killed him at? Freaking rushing. And they didn't really kill him because freaking Ramondre Stevenson ran for 2.4 on average. On average. The Patriots just, it just infuriates me. They really just gave it up across the board. And you think, how did this many yards get this, like, all these, like, touchdowns? Because they really just didn't do anything. Nobody got a touchdown, I don't think, right? 5, 10, 15? Okay, they got, like, 1 touchdown or something. I don't know. It's just insane to me. It's just absolutely insane to me. Besides Ramondre, sorry, I should clarify. I think Ramondre is the only one. No, okay, Drake May also got a rushing touchdown. I didn't know that one. It's just, this is all insane to me. I don't even know what to even say about the Jets and the Patriots anymore. Both those teams suck. Jets especially suck. Moving on. Browns with a big upset on the Ravens. The Browns are showing a little bit of life. They are showing a little bit of life, and they're showing this Ravens team can be easily beat, to be honest with you. Divisional game, let that be granted. I'm not going to count this totally against the Ravens because divisional games are tougher. I mean, come on, across the board. Lamar played an okay game. He just threw up the ball a couple times. Derrick Henry had a very efficient game. They couldn't use him much, though. Zay Flowers, amazing game. Isaiah Likely got really involved. Mark Andrews found the end zone. Really, really good classic offensive battle there. Defense fumbled the ball big time, though. I mean, defense was getting carved up by Jameis Winston. He's just Joe Flacco from last year's, the comparisons I've seen. He's just throwing up dots. He's just throwing down the field, seeing who catches it and hopes for the best. Elijah Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, all 3 of those guys were just running their routes and saying, all right, pass it to me, get 15 yards and pop, that type of deal. Nick Chubb, he's all right. I mean, he's just not looking 100%. He's not looking great. He's not looking like prime Nick Chubb, unfortunately, which I don't know if we'll ever get him back. This committee right here, David Njoku, is not being targeted as much as I thought he would be. Cedric Tillman was used heavily down the field. Elijah Moore was used a lot down this field too. I don't think that Elijah Moore will keep up. Jerry Jeudy, I think will keep consistently this number, or like at least like four targets maybe, or sorry, probably about 6 targets roughly. Elijah Moore will probably go back down to that 5 category. Cedric Tillman though, I think will be the number 1 guy there. David Njoku is doing damn good. Defensively, Browns, not bad Browns. I mean, they weren't last year's Browns, but they showed a little bit of life in them today, putting down Derrick Henry quite a few times, not allowing him to be utilized every single play. But not too bad, Browns. Unfortunately, I think it's too little too late for you. I think you're still going to end up like 7-10, that type of deal. But Ravens, does not help your stock here. I thought maybe you could compete for the number 1 seed. I think 3 losses kills your hope in that right now. Eagles and Bengals. Bengals, man. Every time I feel like I'm having some hope for you, you just crush it. You get beaten by a genuinely good team. And it pains me to say Philadelphia is a genuinely good team, but they are a genuinely good team. I mean, they're just put together. And the Bengals just cannot just get anything going. Their offense is cooking on all cylinders, it feels like. Their defense is in full suit. Jalen Hurts, cool. He threw the ball. Saquon Barkley, cool. He rushed the ball. They did their jobs. Pretty damn good. I think, is this the game? Yeah, this is the game that they did the tush push 3 times or 4 times or whatever, 5 times, and got 3 touchdowns from Jalen Hurts. Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, still great compliment. Defensively, Eagles did amazing. Not very good stats, but they held down the rush game pretty damn well, as you can see from Chase Brown not getting many yardage. Even Joe Burrow was struggling a little bit in terms of being pressured, but he's still making some good throws, so very good on him. Mike Gesicki, when T. Higgins is not there, is kind of the second guy, pretty much. Jamar Chase was still doing pretty all right, but he's being covered. I mean, he was focused down. Without T. Higgins there, Jamar Chase just unfortunately doesn't have that big of yardage games. He gets a lot of targets still, but he just cannot compete with everybody focusing him down because that's their only strategy. Bengals defense, not very good. That's across the board. Bengals, I feel like this loss kind of, in my mind, solidifies you outside of the playoff picture. Granted, the AFC is very open in the 6 and 7 seed area, so it's possible. But I mean, you're gonna take some work. Eagles, very good. They're probably gonna have are they gonna win the division? Commanders are up there. The NFC's tough, dude. The NFC's so fucking tough. I can't wait to look at the playoff percentages here in like another week or two. It's gonna be insane. Texans Colts. It's a fine game. Anthony Richardson apparently got tired and asked to get out of the game, so cool, I guess. He's now benched, so we'll see how that goes going forward. Texans though still look pretty good. I think they're again in that form of I want to see them beat these teams like they are, but like, not like destroy them. Anthony Richardson 10 for 32. Not very. I mean, just not good at all. He's just not good. He's not a good thrower. He's a great rusher. Just no upside out other than that. Jonathan Taylor's trying to carry this team on offense, but otherwise, nah. Josh Downs was literally over half of his yardage. That's crazy to me. Michael Pittman, without Joe Flacco there, which finally he is there, he's not going to get involved. Defensively, the Colts are fine, I guess. They're not great. They're fine, I guess. C.J. Stroud, though, I mean, he's easily becoming the best quarterback from his draft class and will probably be the only starting quarterback here in the next year or two from his draft class. Because Will Levis sucks. Anthony Richardson sucks. Bryce Young sucks. I mean, they're all trash. They're all so bad. Joe Mixon is a valuable asset on the ground, doing very, very well. Stephon Diggs out for the season, but still pretty good last performance here. Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, kind of splitting some service afterwards. Nico Collins will be back here soon. So we'll see how it goes. Texans defense, as normal, is pretty damn good. So I'm not even going to really comment on that moving forward. Texans probably win the division. Colts, your lifeline. Well, Joe Flacco, actually, with them still being 4-4, they got a shot. AFC still very open. So I'll give them the 7th seed shot. Titans, Lions, Lions again, just wanting to show off their prowess. Titans didn't look horrible. They showed some signs of life here and there, but it's mostly kind of not in great timings. So Tony Pollard did all right. Mason Rudolph was fine, I guess. Calvin Ridley came back alive again. He's just catching the ball now, running downfield. Good for him. Glad to see that he's not totally buns now. Defensively, most of their stats actually came from, I think, the second half when the game was pretty much set and over. But you know what? Titans gave a good, valid defense. We'll say that. Jared Goff threw the ball literally 12 times for 85 yards. Isn't that insane? 12 times for 85 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's like one of the most efficient quarterback play. If Jared Goff was actually playing competitive games throughout the whole fucking season, he'd actually probably be in the front runner for MVP. Honestly, God, who's the MVP front runner right now? We're gonna look up MVP odds NFL. Boom. I'm just so fucking curious. Josh Allen, okay, that's a valid one. Lamar Jackson, also kind of a valid one. Jared Goff's at least 4th. That is at least some respect. The fact that Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud are like outside the top 5, kind of looking in, is kind of dope. It's kind of dope to see that because Jaden Daniels probably could get it if he wasn't the rookie. Patrick Mahomes, why is he still 3rd? Why is he still motherfucking 3rd? Dude, honestly, I'm calling it. Jared Goff's winning it. Jared Goff is winning it. Josh Allen, I think those too many picks. Lamar Jackson's had too many low point games. Jared Goff might be consistent enough to get it. I wish I could see the stats right here. Dude, if they let rookies win it, Jaden Daniels could very well fucking win it too. Derrick Henry's up there too. Good for Derrick Henry that he's in the conversation. At least he's up there. Well, he's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's 10th. You know what? Big respect to you, Big Hen. I don't know why I said Big Hen. Don't ever ask me that. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery killed him, but Jahmyr Gibbs mostly in yardage. David Montgomery mostly kind of near the red zone area. Sam Laporta, Khalif Raymond, Brock Wright, Amon-Ra. Good job. You all caught a touchdown pass. Defensively, I mean, the Lions destroyed them. I mean, it wasn't like any sacks. Okay, 1 sack. But, man, they could not get any. Mason Rudolph could not get things going. That O-line collapsed like fucking crazy. Honestly, the secondary probably killed the Titans more than the rushing game. So, good for them. Titans, you're out of this. I mean, you're competing for number 1 seed at this point, which I think you actually might have number 1 seed. No, Panthers do. So, you have number 2. Lions, though, pretty damn good moving forward. Falcons, Bucks. Bucks actually look still good, but without their weapons, they still look like they can have some fight in them, but unfortunately the Falcons are just too explosive. Kirk Cousins finally starting to look a little bit better now. I think he's moving the pocket a little bit more. He's making some good, big, deep throws. He's looking like prime Kirk Cousins now, going halfway through the season, so very, very good to see from Kirk Cousins. Bijan looking more, at least more efficient. I'm not going to say he's great or back, but he's good. Kyle Pitts becoming very, very relevant. Good for Kyle Pitts. He's catching some awesome passes. Darnell Mooney also becoming relevant again. Honestly, this is just the place where you think people go to die, but they actually survive. They soar like a falcon. Defensively, they're fine. I mean, I'm not going to say they were great, but they weren't, bad. Baker threw the ball a fuck ton because Bucky Irving and Rachaad White couldn't do anything. Plus, the Falcons did have a pretty good handle on them for the most part on the ground. So, Baker Mayfield had to throw it a lot, but at least there were some people to catch it, like Cade Otton for 2 touchdowns, and Jalen McMillan found a lot of targets, but didn't find many of them didn't catch many of them until the second half. So, we'll see how that goes going forward. Defensively, not very good. Secondary especially. Secondary got cooked by Kirk Cousins and the team, which I'm not saying they should have, but this definitely wasn't clean. Saints, they looked abysmal here. Chargers, they looked like they were just functioning like I don't know. The Chargers felt like a machine in this game. They just felt like they were making passes. Never felt like they were out of it. Never felt like they were in it. Saints just never felt like they were in it, but they kind of were always similar in scores. So, like, it was tough to say they weren't. Whatever. Defense for the Saints actually kind of felt like the thing that was kind of rocking and rolling. Spencer Rattler, not very good. Jake Hanar kind of came in instead to help out. So, we'll see how that goes going forward. Spencer Rattler, we'll see if he gets healthy again. Alvin Kamara, still pretty efficient, but he's still dealing with some injuries, some lingering injuries, so I'm curious if that will continue. Kendry Miller also had an injury. Don't know how he's doing, so we'll see how those two actually dynamically play out. Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara, receiving, thumbs up. Alvin Kamara was really involved in the receiving game. Chris Olave was the deep down pass guy. Everybody else was irrelevant, essentially. Saints defense, though, did pretty good. I actually think they did all right. They kind of let it go near the end of the game, but at that point it was over anyway. Justin Herbert, offensively looks great. Just J.K. Dobbins, he's somewhere in between being really shit and really great. I don't know where in that line he falls into, because looking at him play, some plays I'll be like, man, that guy looks swift. Next time, or other times I'm just like, do you look good? I don't think you do. Ladd McConkey caught 2 touchdown passes, had him sitting on my bench in a game. Luckily, I didn't need him, but fuck's sake, that's frustrating. You're actually good. Let me play you. Other than that, defensively, Chargers were good, but like I don't want to say they were great, even though they held them to 8 points, because they just honestly, the Spencer Rattler just wasn't good. I'm just gonna kind of flat out say it. Chargers outside looking in, Saints outside looking in, but they're kind of like the 5-12 team at this point. Falcons and Bucks, I should say. Falcons, I think, are gonna solidify that division. Bucks, I think, are gonna just about lose, and I think they're not gonna make the NFC playoffs. Bills, Seahawks, Bills in likely routine, I want to say fortune, but likely, I was going to say likely routine. Josh Allen, killed him. James Cook, killed him. Khalil Shakir, killed him. Keon Coleman, killed him. Amari Cooper, irrelevant. Dalton Kincaid, found the end zone. There you go. That's all you need to know. Defensively from the Bills, they're fine. Again, mostly pressures than anything else. But they kept Geno Smith moving. I'll tell you that. Not team stats, player stats. They kept him moving. I'll say that. Geno Smith actually did a pretty damn good job in avoiding some precious sacks, but like he wasn't making great throws when he was. The rushing game was irrelevant. I'm about to say Zach Charbonnet actually had some good receiving games here. Kenneth Walker also was pretty relevant there, but JSN without DK Metcalf was pretty much the guy. Tyler Lockett only found like 2 targets, I think, so pretty tough. Defensively, Seahawks were just abysmal. That was pretty much all to say to it. Bills. Possibly number 1 seed if the Chiefs finally fucking lose. Eventually, Seahawks, you're out of the playoffs. Commanders, you're my call. You're winning the division at this fucking point. Hail Mary that saved both the Commanders game here. as well as my playoff game in doggy style, which we'll talk about here in the next couple of days. Bears, bear down. The Bears, everybody's mad and they're like appealing. Can we play that last Hail Mary because there's a bunch of holding calls? Go fuck yourself. You're just sore losers. You didn't lose based off that game, or you didn't lose based off that Hail Mary. You lost from the very fucking beginning. Honestly, God, the Commanders did play better. Honestly, they made some mistakes near the end that really couldn't, revitalize it. But the Bears looked horrible throughout this whole fucking game, and they finally got some things going, and they're like, oh, maybe we could win. And then the Commanders were like, nah, fuck you, because they didn't play smart. Whatever. It was frustrating to see. Caleb Williams did not look good. He got 10 out of 24, 131 yards, not very good at all. DeAndre Swift is kind of good, though. I think people are shitting on him way too much. I wish I drafted DeAndre Swift in a lot more leagues now, to be honest with you. Nobody could catch balls because freaking Caleb Williams couldn't throw balls. Tyreek Stevenson, congratulations, dude. Glad to see that you are a fucking asshole. There you go. That's all I got to say. Defense from the Bears was fine. But unfortunately, Jaden Daniels did play. Fortunately, he did play. He had 326 yards. Really, it was like 250 and 0 touchdowns without that Hail Mary at the end. But take that as you will. He just didn't. I mean, the secondary is really good in the Bears, but number 2, Jaden Daniels was still getting. You could tell he was not moving as quickly or swiftly. He did have a little bit of rushing yards, but how good was it? You can kind of take that as you will. Brian Robinson was efficient, but not efficient enough at sometimes. He got some good yardage, but didn't always convert. Terry McLaurin still continues to be number 1 guy for Jaden Daniels. Zach Ertz becoming a lot more relevant. I think he's getting more involved as a second guy there, so that's good to see. Commanders defense actually is playing out of their fucking mind. Low key, they're like a good middle ground defense. It's actually kind of leaning in the top half direction. So good for the Commanders. They're looking good. They're probably going to win the division because I don't want to say the Eagles do. So yeah. Chiefs, Raiders. Oh my gosh, still got 4 more games. Okay, got to hurry this up. Chiefs, Raiders. Chiefs, good. Raiders, bad. Patrick Mahomes, bad. Kareem Hunt, not very good. Travis Kelce, pretty good. Xavier Worthy, pretty all right. DeAndre Hopkins, going to be relevant soon. Defensively, Chiefs, always amazing. Moving on. Raiders, Gardner Minshew, okay, I guess. Alexander Madison, pretty bad. Pretty trash. He's pretty not good. Brock Bowers, pretty good. Jacoby Myers, can be good. Defensively from the Raiders, O-line for the Chiefs, too good. Moving on, Raiders out. Chiefs, number 1 seed, probably. Panthers, Broncos. Man, my Broncos, baby. We saw a fucking win again against the Panthers, which we shouldn't be impressed because it's the Panthers. But Bo Nix looked good. Panthers, Bryce Young, bad. Even though it's 24 for 37, most of that came from the second half. Bad. Johnny Hecker almost had better passes than fucking Bryce Young. Bad. Chuba Hubbard, he's fine. Not high upside. Receiving, across the board, damn horrible without Deontay Johnson or Xavier Legette getting involved. I guess he got end zone, but whatever. Or Adam Thielen being there. Honestly, just bad. Defense, pretty bad. Just bad. Across the board, bad. Bo Nix looks good against a bad team. Sure. Riley Dixon even do a pass. I don't remember that. Cortland Sutton do a pass. I remember that one. That's pretty good. Jaleel McLaughlin, Javonte Williams, pretty all right. Thumbs up for them. They're doing all right. Receiving, Cortland Sutton. Can you just make up your mind whether you're good or bad or not? I don't know. I just don't know about you, Cortland Sutton. Adam Troutman can be good. Lucas Kroll got more involved than I thought he would. So, good for him. Troy Franklin didn't get involved. Fuck you. Because I like you. Defense from the Broncos, pretty damn good. They had a really bad first drive, and obviously they didn't care in the fourth quarter. But second and third quarter, they're pretty good. So, Broncos, you know what? I'm going to put you the 7th seed for the AFC. And Panthers, congratulations on getting another number 1 pick. Excuse me. Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. He's Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. That's all I got to say from that. Zeke, without Rico Dowdle. Decrepit? Yeah. CD Lamb, pretty damn good, though. Who forgot that CD Lamb was good? I did. I forgot that CD Lamb was good because you couldn't tell it with Dak throwing on the ball half the time. Other than that, not too involved. Defense for the Cowboys, way worse than last year. Like, infinitely worse from last year. They were like the best defense last year. They're now like number 22nd at best. 49ers, whatever. They won the game, I guess. I don't know. This game wasn't interesting, to be honest with you, especially when the 49ers had the ball. Isaac Grendo had the ball, and they were efficient running the ball like fucking usual. Brock Purdy threw up another 250-plus yards, another touchdown. George Kittle was good without the other people being involved. With Brandon Ayuk out, Deebo Samuel not being at full strength, it looked like. George Kittle game, Deebo Samuel was all right. Jawan Jennings wasn't there. Ricky Purcell, maybe he's good. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Time will tell. 49ers defense was pretty good. You know, not as good as last year, but way better than the Cowboys this year. This was kind of an interesting game. I kind of turned it in on and off, to be honest with you. Giants didn't look great. On the ground, Tyrone Tracy is fun to watch. I'll say that. He looks good. He looks fast. I wish he was not involved because I like Devin Singletary. But Tyrone Tracy's damn good. Daniel Jones, not very good. Darius Slayton apparently is more efficient than Malik Neighbors. No, I'm kidding. But Malik Neighbors found more targets than Darius Slayton. But Darius Slayton, good for him. He's doing pretty damn well in that offense, even with Malik Neighbors back. Wandale, PPR machine, as per usual. Defensively, I mean, the Giants were fine, actually. Believe it or not, they weren't bad. They let up some big plays, but otherwise not horrible. Russell Wilson, the Steelers, they had a lot of calls called against them in this game. Kind of sucked to see, but they still easily beat them. Even with the calls, they were like minor inconveniences. Russell Wilson might actually be a good quarterback. Apparently, it was just maybe the Broncos system. Nah, he's just a bad quarterback. We're just going to move on. Najee Harris was... I mean, man, he's having another revival year. Jalen Warren's kind of getting involved, but I mean, Najee's looking better this year. He's looking better than he did last year, so good for him. Receiving-wise, George Pickens made some big catches, but got called back. Otherwise, he had an okay day, I guess. Defensively, Steelers, as usual, are pretty damn good. I mean, they're going to be probably the AFC North contenders at this point. Nah, they probably won't. Baltimore will probably still beat them out, but man, the AFC can sometimes be weird too. They're going to be in the game. They're going to be in the playoffs, though. Giants, you're out, though. Sorry about your luck, bud. Cowboys, what are you, 3-4 now? You might miss the playoffs at this rate. The NFC, I think you're going to miss the playoffs. 49ers probably going to win your division. Question mark Cardinals and Seahawks, yeah, probably win the division. Broncos, Panthers, yeah, we already talked about them. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. My voice getting a little tired. Been 26 minutes. Moving on. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one.